He waited for her in the middle of a sold-out U2 concert. Alone, humiliated, and heartbroken. She said she'd be right back. She never came. But 2 weeks later, he turned the tables in a way that made every guy who's ever been played feel like justice just might exist after all. If you've ever been strung along, if you've ever been treated like a doormat, and if you've ever dreamed of making someone regret the day they messed with you, then hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. This is the story of Mike. Not his real name, but the guy who made every guy who's ever been ghosted feel like maybe, just maybe, we're not all losers for caring. Let's rewind. Mike was your average college guy. Not the loudest in the room, not the richest, not the most popular. But he was kind, thoughtful, the kind of guy who held doors, remembered your birthday, and always gave you the benefit of the doubt. You know the type, the kind that sometimes gets walked all over because they care too much. And then there was her. Let's call her Emily. Emily was the girl everyone knew. The kind of girl who could walk into a room and feel the shift in energy. Not just beautiful, though she was, but magnetic, confident. The kind of girl who never had to try hard to get attention because it came to her like gravity. Mike had a crush on her since freshman year. Not a passing one. A full-blown, heart-in-his-throat kind of crush. He asked her out a few times. She was always busy. But here's the thing, she never said no. She'd laugh. She'd flirt. She'd say, maybe next time. She'd make him feel like he was in the running, like he had a shot. And that was enough to keep him hooked. Then came the concert. Mike's buddy scored 2 tickets to a sold-out U2 show. Couldn't go, family emergency. So he sold them to Mike for face value. Mike didn't hesitate. He called Emily. She said yes. You can imagine how he felt. Like he'd won the lottery. Like all those months of waiting, hoping, wondering had finally paid off. He picked her up in his beat-up Honda. Dressed up, hair perfect, smelled like he'd doused himself in cologne. He was nervous as hell, but in the best way. They got to the arena, got their drinks, found their seats. The lights dimmed, the crowd roared, and then she said it. Oh, I see my friend. I'll be right back. That's all. Just, I'll be right back. Mike waited, and waited, and waited. The opening act came on. The lights flashed, the music thumped, but Mike barely heard any of it. He kept scanning the crowd, looking for her, wondering if she'd gotten lost, or maybe stuck in the bathroom line. He told himself she'd be back. When the main act finally took the stage, Bono's voice echoing through the stadium, Mike was still waiting. He didn't move, didn't go looking, because what if she came back and he wasn't there? So he stayed. He stayed through the entire concert. And when it was over, he waited even longer. Texted her, called her. Nothing. No explanation. No apology. Just silence. He finally left. Heartbroken, humiliated, and furious. Climactic revenge payoff. The next day, she called. Like nothing happened. Mike, I'm so sorry. I ran into my ex. We talked for hours. I lost track of time. Blah, blah, blah. Mike listened. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just said, okay. And then he asked her out again. She accepted. Said, you're so sweet. I really underestimated you. That's when Mike knew it was time. He booked a table at an upscale seafood restaurant. The kind of place that costs more than your monthly rent. An hour up the coast. Fancy. Romantic. Perfect. He dressed sharp. Smiled big. Was the perfect gentleman. Opened doors. Laughed at her jokes. Complimented her dress. He made the reservation in her name, just to make sure she couldn't weasel out of it. They ordered wine, appetizers, entrees. Everything was perfect. And then, just like her, he said, I'll be right back. Gotta hit the restroom. He got up, walked out, not to the bathroom, to the parking lot. He got in his car, and he drove away, left her there, alone, at a $300 dinner, with no ride, no explanation. And somewhere, every guy who's ever been strung along, every guy who's ever been ghosted, every guy who's ever been treated like a backup plan, felt a little better about the world. Because Mike didn't just get revenge. He restored our faith in justice. Reflective wrap-up. Sometimes revenge isn't about being cruel. It's about being seen. About proving that you're not a doormat. That your feelings matter. That you won't be taken for granted. Mike didn't teach Emily a lesson because he was mean. He did it because he deserved better. And maybe so do you. If the story gave you chills, hit that like button. Drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or heard of? And of course, subscribe for more stories like this, because sometimes the best way to heal is to let them feel the burn.